Greetings to all. I am Sibin Sabu and my thesis topic is Kerala International Exhibition City. And during this session, I would be covering up the project introduction, the site study and analysis, the case studies and comparative analysis and its inference, the idea development, special topics, zoning and the form development, site layout and the site sections, and the individual building design sheets and the elevations. Kerala International Exhibition City is the proposal by the State Housing Board on the behalf of the state government's contribution to uplift Kochi as a major MIC hub. The aim is to provide the permanent venue for the international trade fairs, the Kerala Design Festival, the motor shows, and the various conventions and other MIC events. The proposed site is near the Marine Drive area near to the Pachalam Junction in an area about 27.9 acres. And with the growth of the population, industries, and the business sector, there is a need to showcase the activities, the creativities before people to promote new trends and the culture. The sharing of the idea and the inventions is what makes success in every sector. And through this project, it aims to provide a platform for it. And with this project, the Kochi will see the tremendous growth in both revenues, economic sectors, and the tourism and related sectors. And it also provides a high revenue generation and increase the awareness of the technology and increases the employment opportunities, also increases the foreign investment. And during this, the first phase of the project, what I thought of including as the exhibition cum sale provisions, the convention center facilities and other meeting provisions, and housing plus recreation units. And in order to study the users, I first studied how this kind of a platform works. And the user groups are the delegates, the guests, invitees, speakers, sponsors, exhibitors, members, visitors, tourists, administrative members, and the maintenance staff. The site is located in Kochi Marine Drive area near to the Pachalam Junction, and the major places surrounding it are the Vadala, Kakanad, Eyur South, Fort Kochi, and Valapur. And the site is in an open space within a heavily densely populated area, and towards the left and the south portion of the site, it is the private land, and other portion is covered up with the housing units. And the major bus roads, it goes to the Menaga from Bolgati in this side and the Kachetipudi to Vadala in this side. And the major road adjacent to the site are the Matai Manuran road that connects to the Pachalam junction here, and the Queensway that connects to the Pachalam junction here. And the site is having a slope gradient from this plus 0 meter to plus 10 meter, and the canal passes through the site and divides the site into two. And towards the north portion, it's partially covered with water body, and here it's also covered with a heavily densely populated area. And towards the left and the south, it's private land, and towards the right, it's a heavily densely populated area. And while looking the section of the Queens Way, you can see that it's a two-way road, and there's a service road also comes by the edge of the site. And this is the Matai Manuran Road, and this is the Queensway, both leading to the Pachalam Junction. The site is only having a very gentle slope comparing to its distance of 318 meter in this side. And here there is chances of water logging since it is the lowest point in the right zone. And no heavy construction will be possible in the buffer edges of this canal and as well as the front portion of the site. And here this is the Goshri walkway, which comes by the side of the main Queens walkway. And here we can see the Goshri walkway and the two-way lines of the Queens road and the service road, which comes by the edge of the site. The site is having very calm and the composed atmosphere, and I have taken several other points into consideration that the development should not affect the nearby areas and the site as well, and should reduce the maximum ecological footprint, and maximum the construction will be on the basis of the view-based orientation. Ideal accessible point will be from the where there is a service road, so that the rush can be avoided, and thought of including the canal into the design as well, and also thought of providing a collection tank or collection facility to collect the stormwater runoff. And no heavy construction will be promoted in the buffer zones, and thought of including some sort of activity in the site as well to engage the surrounding density. And I have did several case studies such as the Chennai Trade Center, the Hyderabad International Convention Center, HITEX Exhibition Center, and Lulu Convention Center Kochi, and Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, and Bangalore International Convention Center. And on its basis, I did a comparative analysis and analyzed the parameters such as the context, the site area, planning, approach, site circulation and parking, massings, administration, firefighting, kitchen, storage, climatic response, open areas, and architectural material, and area per person, hall connectivity, flexibility, and loading. And on its basis, I have prepared an inference chart which I would be explaining and will be using for my design as well. These are the inferences which I concluded from the case studies and the literature case studies, and I have incorporated many of the factors into my design as well. First of all, this kind of a space is always located in an urban context, and approach separation, by which I mean that the separation of the vehicular and the pedestrian pathways. ഇത്തരം സ്പേസിന് സർവീസിനൊക്കെ കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് ഉള്ളതാണ്. So the service area are located at the rear with access to the event and the loading areas, and the front areas are always public in nature. And circulation is like the multiple approaches provided to a single event area, and the large amount of open spaces and breakout spaces are provided in between the building and inside the building for their proper functioning. And the massing is done like it is segregated on the basis of the user group and on the basis of the function of the building. Even though separate massings ആണെങ്കിൽ പോലും ഒരു admins തമ്മിലുള്ള connectivity കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ it will be much more effective in the coordinating of the function. And the basic interior zoning is like the public entry comes first, then the event zone, and then the staff entry and the service. And the flexibility aspect also needed to be considered. It should be either able to segregate and also able to combine. And providing a food court near the convention facility will be much more effective. So in case your convention facility or banquet to convert it, services will become very easier. And storage of buying space, by which I mean that prior to event conducting prior at an exhibition cubicles or exhibition cubicles, our equipments storage ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സാധനങ്ങളായിട്ട് എത്തിക്കും. So അങ്ങനത്തെ storage spaces provide ചെയ്യണം. And providing services at a floor level in it will be much more effective considering the large volume of the spaces and easiness and maintenance and the distribution of the services. ഈ സർവീസ് എല്ലാം താഴെ നിന്ന് കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് കൂടുതലും എഫിഷ്യന്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. And the service vehicles like the forklift truck and the trolleys and the truck will be hanging around the site for the logistical activities. So they need to provide the enough parking spaces and turning radius. And the flooring is somewhat thick as compared to normal flooring. And the climatic response, by which I mean that the opening should be, if we are providing an opening, it should be about 3-meter level. And other considerations are the providing an accommodation facility near the convention facility, so that people can also delegate and also use it. And most of this kind of spaces are always interior space oriented, but I thought of considering the context and the site as well, which I will be explaining later. Then I thought of including some sort of the sustainable factors to minimize the energy use of the exhibition city. And the user distribution, by which I meant that ഇത്തരം spaces mainly two kind of users ആണ് വരുന്നത്. ഒന്ന് incontrollable flow ആയിട്ടുള്ള പബ്ലിക് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്ന എക്സിബിഷനിൽ വരുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ, ഫുള്ളി പബ്ലിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരായിരിക്കും. ഫോർ ദ കൺവെൻഷൻസ് പ്രീ ഡിറ്റർമൈൻഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇവന്റ് ആയതുകൊണ്ടും സെമി പ്രൈവറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരായിരിക്കും വരിക. But here I am considering a third category too, which is the people who accompany them. They could gather or hang around the site as well, which I would be explaining in the next sheet. These are the idea development factors considering the site and the nearby context. The main idea is the connectivity by interaction, by which the proposed design idea is to engage the users to interact with the building and then to the site and at the immediate context and then to the city. A sequence of space that starts from the event hall, then radiates and invites the guests to experience the rich culture of the place, and hence interaction will not just limit within the build space but to the nature as well. Interaction at the building level, what happens inside the interior of the building in a build oriented space, and interaction with the site is allowing users to engage with the site with the elements provided there. And interaction with the city, by which I mean that there's already a culture in the convention exhibition facility that they take the delegates to the nearby tourist centers. So what I thought was it should start from the site itself. So I thought of providing an optional boating services which connects to a 4.2-kilometer loop and the visual connectivity or axial connectivity towards the lakeside. And here I am considering a third category, which is the migratory birds from the Mangalavanam sanctuary. So they will be provided enough response in the site as well. And of course, the building height will be restricted due to the birds' flight. And I thought of providing the trees for the birds like the false ashoka, golden leather ferns, and royal poinsettia, which will be useful for the roasting and nesting of the birds. And at that same time, the false ashoka will also act as a noise barrier. And the green roof has got several advantages. It mainly decreases the heat island effect, and it also acts as a living habitat for the birds as well. And the edge treatment, there are 6 edges in my site, the 4 periphery edges and the 2 edges in the either side of the canal, which will be treated with the proper landscape elements. And the promenade, there's a Godfrey walkway there, so it's a somewhat active zone, so people also, the delegates also could encase in those areas. And considering the surrounding density, I thought of incorporating some factors or the play courts so that surrounding density could also engage in a non-event day. And the topography is gentle slope and the water drains to the lowest point, so where an artificial pond could be created like in the front of the UST Global in Trivandrum. And to minimize the direct heavy concrete footprint, the building systems could be raised in a raised platform, which will be much more effective in this site. The segregated massing will allow the free flow of the wind and utilizing the predominant wind from all three directions. And the building will be oriented in the view-based direction. And the canal also divides the site into two different parts, which I will be treating the left zone as the public vehicular zone and the right zone as the completely pedestrian zone. And the visual connection with the elements of the nature, by which I mean that a person who is standing in a raised platform will be able to visually connect the artificial pond and then the canal and then the lake and of course the sky. These are the special topic factors or consideration that taken into the design. First one, avoiding the construction in the wetland zone and zoning of build space in a higher altitude spaces and minimizing the direct heavy concrete footprint by allowing it to construct in a raised platform and maintaining the drainage pattern as good as possible, and the construction of on the stills and the rimmed pile foundation will be provided where the soil is loosened, and avoiding the basement option and utilizing the space beneath the raised platform and the minimizing the landfill area and the buffer treatment in the edges, either side of the edges of the canal system, and the vegetative stream bank protection by planting the layers of the trees, and the compost berm will be provided to reduce the velocity of the water and reducing the soil erosion by providing the trees at different levels. And earth berm all construction also reduces the soil erosion and also reduces the velocity of the stormwater, and bioretention system is provided for the on-site treatment of the stormwater, and the wet pond system, which I already told about, the artificial pond, which will be provided to collect the stormwater and also act as a temporary storage of the stormwater runoff and later could be used for irrigation. These are the zoning factors which I considered in the design, and it starts with the user group, which I told already about the user group, two user groups in the design, and then the accessibility options from the different directions, and the main spaces which include the convention center, the exhibition center, and the food court, and of course the housing unit, and their parking and the storage and services, and the sun path tree transplantation and artificial pond and the center square, and the view and the connectivity and the recreation. And I have did a combined zoning on the basis of the above mentioned 9 factors. ഈ മെയിൻ എൻട്രി ആൻഡ് എക്സിറ്റ് പബ്ലിക് എൻട്രി ആൻഡ് എക്സിറ്റ് പോയിന്റ്സ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന സർവീസ് റോഡ് വരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷണൽ തന്നെയാണ്. സോ എക്സിബിഷൻ പോലത്തെ ഒരു സ്പേസസിൽ ഇൻകൺട്രോളബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഫ്ലോ ഓഫ് ആൾക്കാർ ത്രൂ ഔട്ട് ദ ഡേ ടൈമിൽ വരുന്ന ഒരു ടൈമിൽ ഇവരുടെ എൻട്രി ഈ ഒരു പ്രൊഫഷനിൽ നിന്ന് കൊടുക്കുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി മച്ച് മോർ ഈസിയർ ആൻഡ് വോണ്ട് ബി അഫക്ടിങ് അനദർ എനി അതർ വെഹിക്കിൾസ്. ആൻഡ് ഇവിടെ കൺവെൻഷൻ സ്പേസിലാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതേ സമയത്ത് ഒരു പ്രീ ഡിറ്റർമൈൻഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഇവന്റ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ടൈമിൽ വരുന്ന പോപ്പുലേഷൻ ആണ്. സോ ദി ടുവേർഡ്സ് ദി പച്ചാളം പോകുന്ന ജംഗ്ഷനിലെ ബിഗിനിങ് ആയിട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. സോ ദി എൻട്രി പോയിന്റ് അടുത്ത് തന്നെയായിട്ട് കൺവെൻഷന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള എൻട്രി പോയിന്റ് അടുത്ത് തന്നെയാണ് കൺവെൻഷൻ സ്പേസസ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതേ രീതിയിൽ തന്നെ എക്സിബിഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള എൻട്രി പോയിന്റ്സിന്റെ അടുത്ത് തന്നെയാണ് എക്സിബിഷൻ സ്പേസസ് കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. And the main spaces that comes under the exhibition points are the permanent display center, which displays the culture and heritage displays of the area. And this one is the open exhibition center, which displays, which often act as a lobby, as a platform for functions, and also for holding the seasonal exhibition events. And this is the formal exhibition spaces. And under the convention facility, there comes the convention hall and the auditorium. And other main spaces are the food court, which is provided common for both in order to avoid the duplication of services, and of course the housing unit at the rear end of the site. The water retention ഉണ്ടാവാൻ ചാൻസ് ഉള്ളതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ലോവസ്റ്റ് പോയിന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സൈറ്റിന്റെ ഈ പോർഷൻ ആണ്. സോ ഐ ആം ക്രിയേറ്റിംഗ് ആൻ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ പോണ്ട് there so that the water will be storm water will be collected there. ഈ പറഞ്ഞേക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ബിൽഡ് സ്പേസസും വിൽ ബി ഇൻ ആൻ ടു റേസ്ഡ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം. ഇങ്ങനത്തെ റേസ്ഡ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിന്റെ മുകളിലായിരിക്കും. ഹിയർ ഓൾസോ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി അബോവ് എ റേസ്ഡ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം. ആൻഡ് ഹെൻസ് ഈ വരുന്ന പബ്ലിക് വെഹിക്കിൾസ് എല്ലാം ഈ റേസ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിന്റെ അടിയിലായിട്ട് പാർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ആൻഡ് ഒരു വിഷ്വൽ കോറിഡോർസ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ടുവേർഡ്സ് ദി വ്യൂ പോയിന്റ്. ആൻഡ് ഇവിടെ recreational spaces also provided considering the public for the non-event days, and this food court is also could be accessed by the public. And the main service entry is provided this way, and the vehicles could move around the rear side of the buildings, and also the bridges is provided to cross over the canal. And this is how the basic form was developed. First, I considered a raised platform in order to avoid the direct heavy concrete footprint, and then single mass is placed above, considering all the facility comes under the single roof. And then it is separated into different masses on the basis of the user and the function of each building. And then in order to avoid the duplication of the services, the food court is provided at the center of both convention and exhibition facility. And in order to create a central focus towards the artificial lake and the canal, I have covered the nature of the mass. And after that, it was splitted into different to provide breakout spaces in between and on the basis of the user group and function. And also axial corridor is also created. Coming to the site layout, the main two adjacent roads surrounding the site are, one is the Queensway, which is a two-way road, and along with there is a service road at the edge of the site. And the other one is the Mathai Manjuran road, and both connects to the Pachalam junction at this point. And the main entry is provided via this service road, mainly considering for the exhibition center facility. And similarly, for considering the convention center facility, the entry is provided at the beginning of the site itself, mainly for the convention center facility. മെയിൻ ഫംഗ്ഷനിങ് സോണിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസിനെ ഡിസ്റ്റർബ് ചെയ്യാതിരിക്കാനായിട്ട് ദി സർവീസ് എൻട്രിയും സ്റ്റാഫ് എൻട്രിയും VIP എൻട്രീസ് ഒക്കെ ഈ ബിൽഡിംഗിന്റെ റെയർ സൈഡിൽ കൂടെ വരുന്ന പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലാണ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ദി സർവീസ് വെഹിക്കിൾ വിൽ ബി പാർക്കിംഗ് ഇൻ ദി ലോഡിംഗ് ബേസ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ, ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് ദേ വിൽ എക്സിറ്റ് വിയ ദിസ് വേ. And the people who are coming in the aim of coming to the exhibition center, അവർ ആദ്യമേ access ചെയ്യുക ഈ സർവീസ് റോഡിൽ കൂടെ വന്നിട്ട് they will park here, and after they will cross over the bridge, and from the functioning zone in ഈ raised platformiലേക്ക് access ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ഒരു 5 stairs come ramps provide ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. So they will access via this way. And similarly, the person who are coming in the aim of coming to the convention center, they will access via this way, and they will drop their families in this curve, and after that they will go and park beneath the raised platform of the housing unit, and later they will join via the bridge and come join their family here. Coming to the detail, the person who is entering from this service entry first will be seeing a sculpture depicting the exhibition center. Then a roundabout splits the roads, and ഇവിടുന്ന് ഒരു റാമ്പ് കയറി ഹൗസിംഗ് യൂണിറ്റ്സിന്റെ റേസ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലേക്ക് പോകാം. And also അതിന്റെ beneath ആയിട്ടാണ് പബ്ലിക്കിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പാർക്കിംഗ്. And these are the housing units, and this is the staircase that leading to the race platform from the beneath level. And these are the false asoka trees which also act as a noise barrier. And this is the bridge cross from the race platform to the functioning zone here. And these are the golden leather ferns which is planted in the either sides of the canal for the soil protection. And either sides of canal there are several landscape settings also provided. And chaburtas are also provided in the main junction points for the birds rest, and beneath which people also could rest. And the solar trees also provided in a row for trapping the energy of the sun, and beneath which people also could rest. And the canal is about 10 to 12 meter width. And this is the ramp that leading to the platform below for those who are coming from the convention side. And coming to the main functioning zone here, that the first portion itself, there is provided the optional boarding point. And this area comes as a dead zone for vehicles. So ഒരു വാട്ടർ ഇൻലെറ്റോ അല്ല അങ്ങനത്തെ എന്തെങ്കിലും സർവീസ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് പുറത്തുനിന്ന് കൊടുക്കേണ്ട ഓപ്ഷൻസോ ഗ്യാസ് സ്റ്റേഷൻസ് അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ കൊടുക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ the vehicle could be parked here, and ഇവിടെ വാട്ടർ ഇൻലെറ്റ് കൊടുക്കുക, and it will be distributed evenly throughout. And coming to the main functioning zone, like means this whole thing is raised up in a raised platform. And first comes the permanent display center, and then the open exhibition center, and the formal exhibition center, and here the food court and the convention center and the auditorium. Here the food court is also accessible by the people from the outside, and they will entry via this way. And this recreational facilities also could be accessed by the people in the non-event days. So food courts വരുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്കും recreation വരുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്കും പാർക്ക് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഫെസിലിറ്റീസ് ഇവിടെ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Similarly, the staffs who are directly accessing the raised platform could ഇവിടുന്ന് തന്നെ റാംസ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ബെനീത്തിലേക്ക് പാർക്ക് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. അതേ രീതി തന്നെ എൻ്റർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടും റാംസ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദിസ് ബിൽഡിംഗ് മാസസ് they are provided the breakout spaces in between in every building, and also try to provide some sort of connection between the admin zones. This is the central artificial pond that creates a central focus, and these are the open wall display informal exhibition space, and this is the ramp and the staircases which I was talking about earlier, which leads to the raised platform. These are 4 different side sections that cut across different buildings and the natural canal, and the slope ranges between the 0 meter level to 10 meter level, and the circle ones are the blown up details which I detailed in every section. I'll just move across the blown up details. The construction on the stills, and this is the buffer treatment in the edges, and this is the bridge over the canal, the pathways and the open displays, and the steps and the ramp leading to the platform, and the ramp behind the steps, and the path outside and the inside. And here it is to shown the solar trees and chabutras, the canal buffer treatment, or open air theater, and the open display walls, and here showing the pond area and the area beside. And the build spaces is higher in the place in higher altitude, and here to cover the raised platform, the coniferous trees are also planted to cover the void spaces of the raised platform, and to reduce the runoff, several trees are planted on either side of the canal, and it's showing the artificial wet ponds. These are the reasons for which I gave a raised platform in the design: for minimizing the direct heavy concrete footprint, and to enhance the view connectivity towards the other area, and the space for storage, other services, and for car parking, and for the easiness of services. And to the platform also act as a pre-functioning space, providing in the same level give equal priority of spaces, and the people could be separated according to their necessities. and to enhance the vista from the outside since it is raised a bit. And this is what happens below the level below the raised platforms. It acts as a service floor and space for parking and space for storage. As I told earlier, the housing units in the provisional cars park here, public parking, which is almost over 450 car parks in park. And there are electrical rooms, generator rooms, and a staircase leading to the upward portion. And what happens beneath the permanent display center, there is provided with a generator room, electrical room space, locker rooms for the staff members, and the staircases, toilets, etc. And here it's provided the parking for the staff members. And ഇവിടുന്ന് തന്നെ അവർക്ക് മേളത്തെ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ നിന്ന് റാമ്പ് ഇറങ്ങി ആക്സസ് ചെയ്ത് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരാം, തിരിച്ച് അതേ റാംപ്സ് തന്നെ കയറി മേളിലേക്കും പോകാനുള്ള രീതിയിൽ സോളിഡ് വേസ്റ്റ് ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റിനുള്ള സെഗ്രിഗേഷൻ യൂണിറ്റ്സ് ഇവർ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സിമിലർലി ഈ എക്യുപ്മെന്റ്സ് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യാനും ഇങ്ങനെ പ്രയർ ആയിട്ട് വരുന്ന സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ടുള്ള എക്സിബിറ്റേഴ്സിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള സ്റ്റോറേജ് സ്പേസസ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് ഇതിൽ ഫർണിച്ചർ സ്റ്റോറേജിനുള്ള പ്രൊവിഷൻസ്. And they're provided at 3 customized hydraulic lift that is enough large to hold a forklift inside. അങ്ങനെ ഇൻസൈഡ് ഇത് സാധനങ്ങൾ ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ ആയിട്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത് തന്നെ പറ്റും. And the forklift parking also provided here itself, and the trolley parking is also provided here. And ഇവിടെ നിന്നുള്ള sewage treatment ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് sewage treatment equipment plant ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Similarly pump room to പമ്പ് റൂംസും കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിനെ റീയൂസ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ടോയ്ലറ്റ് ഫ്ലഷിലേക്കൊക്കെ റീയൂസ് ചെയ്യണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിന് വേണ്ടിയും കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. And here also what happens is the same. The staff beneath the convention facility, there is provided staff parking. The electrical rooms, generator rooms, and the chiller rooms are also provided along with the toilets and the staircases. And ഇവിടെ ഒരു പേയ്മെന്റ് ബോൾ പേയും എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള പെർമിയബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള പേയ്മെന്റ്സ് ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So it can be it's permeable, and at the time we can grow grass over it. Moving to the individual buildings, first comes the permanent display center, where the cultural and heritage displays are displayed. And being a must-visit center, it is zoned very close to the main road, and the basic circulation flow is like the public will access via the front way, and the service entry is in the rear side. And the staff area is also zoned above this display center, considering the security aspect, and also gives the direct view towards the main road. And the space connectivity is also ensured to the nearest building. And coming to the plan, the first entry is from the raised platform level. 2 entries are provided, and the rear entry is the service entry. And the immediate storage spaces, hall, in charges room, and staff rooms are also provided. And the social interaction space is also provided. And other are the cubicle units where the displays could be placed. And coming to the second floor level, it comes the staff's area, where the staff's lobby, their workstations, their bunk beds, their toilets, and recreation space and pantry space is provided. And from the main corridor, they could access to the living room as well. And this is the section showing the accessible living room. All the basic services are provided from the ground floor level itself, and the double wall system is placed in the south side, considering the natural airflow. And this is the slanting wall and its fixing detail with the gusseted plate and nut bolts. And this is the detail showing the green roof. Coming to the next building, it's the open exhibition center. It's a main flexible central space, which is a triple height space, which is capable enough to hold small scale exhibitions, seasonal exhibitions, and small scale performances. The basic circulation flow is like from the front portion, it will be public entry, and the rear portion, it will be service entry. And several retail stores is also provided considering the seasonal exhibitions. And space connectivity to the nearest building is also ensured. And this is the central triple height spaces, and to the either ends there is provided retail shops and the tourist information center, the business lounge, and the reception area. And this is the central courtyard area, above which is a skylight. We can see that in this section. And this space is provided with a uplift stage, which could be raised to its raised position, and could conduct small scale performance area, and people could sit or gather around the steps and could watch the performances. And in the deck floor level, it's also provided several retail stores, and the guest room, admin room, conference room, and admin room is also provided there. And the central skylight is also provided, and there is a LED display screen is also provided, where all the informations could be displayed there regarding what happens where. Well, and here is the glass wall fixing detail, how the glass wall is fixed via the gusset plate and the screw bolt connection. And this is the raised position of the stage. And the glass facade is a heat insulation solar glass, which is capable enough to generate energy by trapping the heat rays of the sun. And it's the joinery detail, and its section is also provided. And the next one is the formal exhibition center, and how considered the main four aspect. Here there is a four different halls, the 2 at the top and the 2 at the bottom level, and could be combined according to the scale of the event. And the basic circulation is like the public entry will be from the front portion, and the service entry and staff entry will be from the bottom, the rear portion. And is considered several breakout spaces in between the building, and also the basic services are provided from the ground level. And coming to the plan, This is the exhibition hall 1 and this is the exhibition hall 2, and similarly two exhibition halls are at the top level also. And at the front portion comes the VIP lounge, the info counter, discussion rooms, and the staircase leading to the upward portion. And towards the rear portion comes the staff rooms, organizers room, hall in charge room, HQ room, staff rooms, and the toilets and the storage level. And these halls are designed capable enough to allowing the entry of the truck and the forklift trucks. And this is the sample layout of the distribution of the service layout, like the plumbing, electrical systems. And this is the sample exhibition cubicle layout of the according to the sizes. And here comes the central portion. The half portion will be the service area, which will be closed during an exhibition. And this is the people connectivity area from the exhibition hall 1 to exhibition hall 2. And here provides the loading bay, and here provided the customized hydraulic lifts to shift the things to the upward level. And each floor there is provided a deck to know what happens below. And the exhibit, this is the exhibition hall 1, 2, 3, and the 4. And in the exhibition hall 2, the ceiling could be lowered and could be converted to the banquet. And this is a sample section that showing a layout of the moto exhibition. Hydraulic lifting provisions will be provided for lifting this cars, and people could move around. And this ceiling could be dropped and converted to the banquet as well. And here comes the main convention center. And even though the convention center is also of a trapezium shape, the inside hall is angled a bit to provide sightline comfort. And here the basic circulation flow is like the front portion will be allowed for the public, and there's service entry and staff entry from the rear side. And the space connectivity is ensured to the nearest auditorium hall. And several pre-functioning spaces and the breakout space is also provided. And coming to the plan, this is a large single hall which is capable of accommodating more than 2,500 people. And the halls could be separated into hall 1 and the hall 2, hall 3, and the hall 4, which will be separated with the roller panels via this way and the roller panels via this way. And it could be storage in the niches and the storage niches here. And this is the pre-functioning spaces which the people could gather before an event starts. And in order to get the separate stages for this hall and this hall, the uplift stages are also provided here. Backward seating portion in this level is provided with a retractable seating system. And this is the detail that's showing the panel movement, and this is storage niches. And these are the site elevations from the different angles.